The Law Hill Maritime Centre was established 22 years ago when Simonstown School and SAF Marine, the shipping line at the time, formed a partnership, and the idea was to introduce young people to the maritime industry, but also to focus on providing opportunities for young children living in poverty and who face youth unemployment, to give them a chance to find a job and get an education in an industry that wants them and needs them. So Brian Ingpen, who's one of our educators here, put together a curriculum together with various members of the industry, and two subjects were introduced. The one is maritime economics, which prepares young people for a career ashore, and the other one is nautical science, which prepares young people for careers at sea. Careers at shore would be anything from an agent to a maritime lawyer, and those who are wanting to go to sea could eventually look at being a captain or a chief engineer. For young people who would like to come to our school, they would need to have a minimum of 60% in math, science and English in grade 9. They would then be able to apply to attend the school and to come into the maritime program using their June results. The information and all the application forms are on the website, which is www.lawhill.org, and they would then be assessed, and if they meet the academic requirements, we would do interviews with them, and we would look for somebody with drive and energy, somebody who's eager to learn about something, an industry that's very, very different, and we would then accept approximately 20 every year. The focus of our school here is maritime industry. There are two reasons. First of all, it's where our funding comes from, but also where there is a need for employment. It's an international industry that offers very many careers, very interesting careers, and also lucrative employment, because many of the students, particularly the seafarers, would be earning US dollar tax-free salaries. So we believe that the maritime industry offers a very interesting career no matter what interest you have. So for those interested in law, there would be maritime law you could follow, and for those interested in medicine, you could be a doctor on a cruise liner. So, but despite the maritime focus, we really are a program of upliftment, about giving young people, deserving young people, an opportunity to get a quality education and the soft skills they need to succeed in life. We currently have 62 students here at the Law Hill Maritime Centre, a capacity of 66, which we will have next year. The students come from all over the country, including Namibia. They are very often recommended to us by their schools or otherwise through word of mouth. We're seeing more and more as our ex-students go back into their communities that young people from those communities are showing an interest in our school. But it's really young people from wherever. They could be coastal cities such as Cape Town or Port Elizabeth, East London, but they could also be rural villages, and also very much an interest from inland provinces such as Gauteng and Limpopo. We've been very fortunate to have had a very successful impact for our program. We have a number of students who have already achieved their master's certificate, and that means that they can captain any ship of any size anywhere in the world. We also have marine engineers who are currently working at second engineer level, but who are qualified as chief engineers. Amongst them is Kelly Clausen, South Africa's highest ranked marine engineer, who was a student here at Simonstown School. There is also Blondie Jubela, who is the only female in the engine room of some of the world's largest cruise liners, and she comes from a village in Samoa. Apart from the ocean side, we have also had young people who've achieved success ashore and become directors or owners of their own businesses, and very doing incredibly well and making an impact in the industry. Although we are part of a government school, we receive no funding from the government. So what has been achieved with the help of the industry and with some very generous individuals and companies. And we're very proud this year to add an ECTIS classroom, that's an electronic navigation classroom, to our school. We believe we're the first high school in the world to do that. We also have our own yacht, and that will be used to teach sail training and boat handling to young students. Every year, thanks to Marine Inspirations, a maritime mentorship organization, we send about 6 children to Spain, to Ibiza, for 10 days to learn about the super yacht industry. One of our success stories is also in the super yacht industry, where Rolf Siebel-Berry, a past student, is currently our first master of a super yacht, having served on Octopus, which is a super yacht owned by Paul Allen, Bill Gates' co-founder in Microsoft.
So my name is Mr. Thomas. I grew up in Port Elizabeth and I lived in various places in Port Elizabeth. So about myself, I'm not that type of kid who wants to be involved in everything, who wants to be like the wow at school and what. Nah, I just want to like be my own self, do my own things in my own particular way. So for hobbies, for extra things, I just play the piano. If my life is kind of hectic, my schoolwork, hey. And during the weekends, I go to rowing, which I do at this harbour here, or I go to cycling in these mountains, yeah, that's kind of it. Well, I found about Loyal through my previous high school, which I attended, which was Molly Blackburn. So in this high school, there was a teacher who was like kind of picking students who had a purpose in the academic or had a personality to go through life as normal kids. So he was picking students from grade 9 so he could pass on into Loyal to start grade 10 at this wonderful place in Somerset. So in order to get into Loyal, it's not all about the marks, it's about your personality, because when working on a ship, it's not about how good you are at something. It's about your personality. Are you responsible? Are you on time? So that kind of things. Like you don't have to be in much of the social media or the extras that are unnecessary in life. So my bursary is sponsored by Community Property Fund, which is also associated with Capital Land. Well, what I enjoy about Loyal is being at Loyal, because the presence to be at Loyal is quite amazing, because you get to meet people from different places. Not only do you get to meet different people, but you also get to meet sort of role models, ex-captains, former captains who have been to sea, who tell you about the sea life to try and motivate students to go into the maritime industry. Well, during the June holidays, I'll be kind of recruiting students to inform them about this place called Loyal, because not many people are informed about or know that this kind of schools are in South Africa. Because at Loyal you get the opportunity to do various things which you don't have the chance to do back in PE. So I've been doing that during the June holidays as my kind of giving back to try and get more people to get into this program. I'd also like to take the opportunity to thank Community Property Fund for being my bursary sponsors, because it's not an everyday thing that like a kid gets to get a bursary. It's quite rare for people to get a bursary at this particular school, which is the only school in South Africa that has an active system, whereby only mariners will know about. It's a system that is quite rare, and you only get to learn about it in college, not in high school.